Yo, some crazy news just in reported by my homie MMA Ideas. Shout out to Manny Mayer, MMA Ideas. He just reported on Instagram, and I quote, UFC has UFC 285 on March 4th penciled in for Francis Ngannou return if he is healthy, and for him to face Jon Jones. Holy, if Ngannou's not healthy, UFC has a Jones versus Blaydes as a safety net option per MMA Junkie. Wow. UFC 285 is going to be in Las Vegas. They changed their minds. It's not going to be in London anymore. Sorry, Leon Edwards. You may have to fight in the States if they don't do a pay-per-view in London. But wow, March 5th or 4th, rather, the return of the GOAT, Jon Bones Jones. He's coming back. It is official. He is coming back. And it might be against Ngannou if he's healthy. Us fans, we finally might get what we want. You know, A, the return of Jon Bones Jones. If you're a Jon hater, B, Jon potentially getting knocked out. And C, just the matchup itself. Ngannou versus Jon Jones. A fan's wet dream. But if not, Jones versus Blaydes is interesting. But that begs the question. Where the hell is Stipe Miocic? What's he doing? Is he retired? I think it's safe to say he's probably retired. The dude's 40. He's been silent like for the last year now. Hasn't talked about coming back. Yeah, he's been under the radar, and I guess he's not going to fight again. Yeah, okay. Goodbye, Stipe. You had a great career. Not worth coming back. You're finished anyway. But wow, Jones and Ngannou in the next few months might happen if Ngannou's healthy. I want to talk about that fight. How is Jon Jones going to look after 3 years off? You know, Jon had done the correct thing, though. You know, taking time to build himself in the weight class, putting on muscle, not jumping straight into heavyweight with his current, well, not his current anymore, but his at the time skinny frame. He's adding muscle, adding weight, adding power, and after putting on that weight, he didn't just jump straight into heavyweight where he could be a bit sluggish. He's conditioning himself now in that frame so he can perform to his full potential. And if we do see Jon at his best with this current physique against Ngannou, how does he match up? I don't know. It's a pretty bad matchup. I mean, Jon Jones has more tools than Ngannou, obviously. His striking is all around more dynamic than Ngannou, you know, better with kicks, better with combinations. He's got the elbows. He's very elusive, very tricky. He's got the wrestling. But Ngannou can wrestle too, and Ngannou's big. Ngannou's a big man, a big man. He's a big dude. I know that probably sounded cringe, but he's a big guy, and he's hard to take down. And we've seen Jon has struggled recently to use his offensive wrestling. He could not take down Dominic Reyes. I can only imagine Ngannou's going to have better takedown defense and get-up ability than Reyes. So Ngannou's not getting taken down by Jon Jones unless Ngannou is absolutely gassed out. Dangerous fight because Ngannou is so powerful. And not just that, Jones struggles with guys who are his height, but not just the guy who is his height now. Ngannou's not just 6'4". Ngannou's got an 84-inch reach like Jon Jones, I think. Something along those lines. I have to look it up after, but I think if I'm correct, he's got an 84-inch reach. So Jon Jones is not longer than Francis Ngannou. So it's going to be harder to get away from that power with that long wingspan. And I believe one mistake from Jon Jones, if he zigs when he should have zagged, Jon might get sparked for the very first time in his career. But, you know, maybe Jon Jones could frustrate Ngannou. Maybe somehow he could keep that distance, stay elusive, pick at him, make Ngannou wear himself out, or wear out Ngannou by making him swing big, miss hard, maybe wear him out in the clinch early on. And if he can get past the first couple rounds, he might be able to melt Ngannou and he might be able to win. Who knows? We're just going to have to find out. But more than likely, Ngannou's going to starch Jon Jones, who could be past his prime, who, you know, is coming back after 3 years, especially all the stuff that Jon has been through, all the legal trouble and all that stuff, and the drugs he's been on. Who knows if we're going to see the same Jon Jones. He's been falling off lately, but hopefully he comes back rejuvenated in the best form he's ever been in. And then as for Jones versus Blaydes, this one's interesting because Curtis, not as dangerous as Ngannou, but he is good. He's powerful, but not the same power or explosiveness as Ngannou. So I think Jon is a little bit safer against Blaydes because all he has to worry about is the wrestling. Jon is a tough guy to take down and control. And Blaydes' takedowns, they can be stopped. They've been stopped by JDS. I'm pretty sure Jon Jones, with the balance he has, could keep it upright against Blaydes. And if he does, I think Jon Jones can outstrike Curtis Blaydes. I think Curtis Blaydes is a more winnable matchup for Jones than Francis Ngannou. Again, all he's got to worry about is the wrestling. I think he can deal with the wrestling, and I think he can outstrike Blaydes, in all honesty. I really think he can, and who knows, maybe he could take down Curtis Blaydes. If I'm not wrong, I'm pretty sure Volkov did. Although Blaydes will be tough, he will not be an easy fight. He is a safer fight, and I might be quicker to pick Jones to beat Curtis. But we're going to find out. I hope it's the Ngannou fight. But if not, we're going to get the Blaydes fight. So either way, March 4th, Las Vegas, we are in for a good show. And finally, there's confirmation on the return of Jon Jones. Can't wait.